What's going on, YouTube? Welcome to the Credit Plug channel where we talk about how to build credit, how to establish relationships with banks and financial institutions, and how to get you access to high limit credit funding. If that's something you like to listen to, we definitely welcome you to subscribe. If not, you can always like, share, or just comment right down below. So today I have another special credit union review, and I've been waiting quite a long time to do a review on this particular institution. In the past couple of weeks, I've done videos on AODFCU, which happens to be in the same state of Alabama. And this particular credit union is Redstone Federal Credit Union. Redstone is actually the largest credit union in the entire state of Alabama. They offer a host of different credit products across credit cards, checking accounts, savings, retirement, mortgages, recreational vehicles, the whole nine. So they have a lot of different credit products you could choose from. And their credit products are pretty straightforward, right? Before I get into that, I'm just going to run down how to gain membership. So membership is pretty much open to anyone as long as you're a part of one of the employer groups or one of the affiliations. AUSA, which I spoke about in the AOD FCU as a way of getting in. You could utilize AUSA, which is the Association of the United States Army. That's one way to get in. And then they have a list of a ton of other associations. So you're not just limited. There's a ton of different ways to get in. So don't worry about that if you're interested in joining. One of the downsides of joining, however, is that they do hard pull you for membership. Now, unlike some other institutions where they hard pull you and you could use that same hard pull, it's not the same with Redstone Federal. They will hard pull you for additional credit applications after they hard pull you for membership. However, there is an alternative of getting into Redstone Federal Credit Union. And the way you get in is through another credit product that's offered by Rural King Harvest. So Rural King is a retailer of farming supplies, farming equipment, etc. So they have a credit product that's backed by Redstone Federal Credit Union, and that's the Rural King Harvest Visa card, which is they have a version that's for personal, and they have another one that's for businesses. So one of the perks of the Rural King Harvest Visa card is that it automatically comes with membership to Redstone Federal Credit Union. So you're only getting one hard pull. So you get that one hard pull when you apply, and then after you get approved, then membership comes automatically. So that's, in my opinion, if you're going to go after, if you want a credit card from backed by Redstone Federal Credit Union, instead of going directly to the credit union, applying for membership, and then applying for the credit product, you're better off applying to Rural King Harvest Visa card once you get approved, and then the membership automatically comes. So it's much more efficient. You're getting one inquiry instead of two. Now, the Rural King Harvest Visa card gives you 5% cash back at Rural King on every dollar spent, as well as it gives you 1.5% cash back on all purchases outside of Rural King. And then there's a 0% introductory bonus offer for 6 months, no interest on purchases of $299 at Rural King Harvest. So that's one of the more efficient ways, I would say, to get in. And like I mentioned, they have a business version of the card as well. The application is a little bit, more intensive. Not intensive in terms of requirements, but just intensive in terms of applications. And you have to upload your articles of organization. You have to upload your EIN document that you get from the IRS. And I think that's about it. You have the option. You can upload like your business credit report or your personal credit reports. And then one of the interesting things about the Rural King Harvest Visa business card is that they give you the option of using collateral or some other form of securing the the Visa business credit card that you get. And that's pretty interesting because you don't really see that too many times. And I'm not sure if that plays any part in whether or not that makes it easier to get approved for the business card. So that's just one thing to think about. But anyways, so Rural King, like I said, it's like a store card, but it's also a Visa card that you could use anywhere. So it's just as good as any other credit card. It's They're backed by Redstone Federal Credit Union. So Federal Credit Union is doing the underwriting and the funding for that particular Visa credit card. But Redstone Federal Credit Union has their own credit cards as well. So they have a Visa Signature card. The Visa Signature card gives you 1 point on every dollar spent. They also have a 0% APR offer for 6 months on balance transfers and purchases. The balance transfers have to be within the first 30 days. And then after you spend $3,000 within the first 90 days, you get a 10,000 point bonus, which can be redeemed through their reward system. So, and then they also have a traditional Visa as well, which is, for rebuilding or, lower credit profiles. That just gives 1 point on every dollar spent. It's very basic. But in my opinion, the Rural King Harvest Visa is probably going to be better than even their Visa Signature. They both have 0% APR offers. The only difference is the 0% APR offer for Rural King is only for Rural King purchases, whereas the 0% APR for the Visa Signature is for any purchase. So it all depends on what you would prefer. Like, would you prefer one inquiry versus two, or 0% on all purchases, but versus 0% on just Rural King purchases? That's where the decision will have to come. But other than that, I don't think it's that much better. I would say they're pretty much equivalent, because the Rural King gives you 1.5% on every dollar spent outside of Rural King, whereas the Redstone Federal Credit Union Visa Signature just gives you one point on every dollar spent. So, I think when you balance them out, they're pretty much equal, in my opinion, unless you really prefer 0% for 6 months on all purchases and you're willing to undergo a second inquiry for that. Then I guess that's just a decision that you would have to evaluate personally. But in my opinion, after the 6-month introductory bonus is over, then I would say the Rural King Harvest Visa trumps the Visa Signature. So it's a couple ways you could look at it. I don't think the extra inquiry is worth the introductory bonus offer. Because you could always use that inquiry and get an approval somewhere else. So that's just one thing. So other than that, like I said, they have signature loan, Visa Signature. They have a signature loan that's just requires a signature. That's a term loan up to $50,000. And then Redstone Federal Credit Union also has a line of credit, but it's more so like a checking line of credit. It only goes up to $5,000, which is unfortunate. So, and here's another little tidbit, right? So, just from some of the data points that I've gathered, Redstone Federal Credit Union, as well as other banks and credit unions in the state of Alabama, tend to give higher limits and easier approvals to those who have credit scores over 700. Now, don't run with that, or even just, and I hate generalizing, but the reason why I'm saying this is because Alabama as a state has one of the lowest average FICO scores in the country. Which FICO score, I'm not 100% sure, but they just have the lowest average, which is around like a 660. So if you're above that average on whatever FICO score is being used to make a credit decision, then I think your chances are a lot better. And mind you, I said don't just take that and run with it. There's a lot of other considerations, like how many new accounts you've opened in the past 3 months, other little nuanced things about specific credit unions. But that's just one thing to keep in mind. And then from other data points, the limits seem to be, pretty good. For the most part, $5,000 and above. So, if you're someone who has a good credit score and you haven't applied for any cards, in the past 3 to 6 months or any new accounts, then I think you're in a fairly good position to get approval with Redstone Federal Credit Union, or even like an AOD FCU, or another credit union in the state of Alabama. So that's pretty much everything I wanted to share with Redstone Federal Credit Union. They definitely seem to be a pretty good credit union for you to consider. The only one downside is, like I said, most institutions will allow you to use that same hard inquiry for 30 days. Redstone is not the case. However, for those of you who've been wearing out your Equifax, with AODFCU or SEC, or even like, some of these other credit unions that use Equifax, and you need sort of to balance out your inquiries, you could definitely consider a Redstone Federal Credit Union. And like I said, I would recommend going the route of the Rural King Harvest Visa, even though, you may not find that much usage in it. I think that's the path of least resistance of getting into Redstone Federal Credit Union without having to take on multiple inquiries. So that's all I wanted to share for this video. If you're interested in how to build primary accounts, you can email me, info@creditplug.com. And don't forget, if you are interested in joining our live Zoom next Sunday from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I'll post a link in the description. We're going to be talking about how to trigger automatic credit applications. We're going to be diving into different credit scoring algorithms and what specific financial institutions are looking for in terms of credit profile to either approve or deny you. So if that's something you're interested in, we definitely welcome you to come check it out. Until next time, y'all take it easy, and we'll talk to you soon. Peace.